All right, what's up guys? I got a video here on cash flow versus equity. So depending on if you want to quit your job early, you want to retire early versus, you want to make as much money as possible. There's different routes to get there, right? So number one, I always recommend starting a business, whether you're going this side or this side. It doesn't really matter, but a business is the way that you're going to unlock the ceiling on how much money you can make. So I'll start with that. But here we have cash flow. These are investments that produce income every single month, right? So these typically have a lower return, but the cash flow that they produce is much higher than say like a growth stock or something, okay? So this is gonna be like your businesses, your income property where the rents are way higher than the monthly expenses. And these are typically found in like the Midwest or the South or whatever. These aren't like, $1 million homes that are those typically don't cash flow very well as far as on a percentage basis. And then we have dividend stocks. Again, these are usually lower returns than like growth stocks, but they'll produce a higher cash payment every month or every 3 months, depending on what the stock does. And then from there, you also have rental cars and vending machines, okay? Rental cars, say you go buy a $5,000 car and list it on Turo, and maybe you finance the car and it's $100 a month, but then you can go list it on Turo for 20 days out of the month and go and make $400. So now you have cash flow of $300 a month after you make your car payment. Same thing with vending machines. You can buy these for like $1,000. Go into a bunch of businesses and find one that could use a vending machine. Talk to the owner, get a contract written up. Again, there's lots of YouTube videos on how to do that. I don't personally do that, but I have some friends that do. These are more cash flow investments. So depending on your goals, you want to take a specific investment to get there. On the other side, we've got the more equity investments, okay? These are going to give you the most amount of money possible. These are going to be like your growth stocks, like your Apple, your crazy index funds or whatever. But I also put income property over here, and these are going to be more value add. So if you buy a really nice, or you buy a crappy house in a really nice neighborhood where say it's a $500,000 house selling for 200 grand and it only needs 50 grand worth of work, you're into it for 250 and now it's worth 500. You just made $250,000 on one real estate deal. Also on this cryptocurrency, these don't usually pay a dividend like dividend stocks do, but we've seen over the last couple of years the rise of crypto and how much they can go up in value. So depending on your goals, right? If you're happy with your job and you want to work till you're 50 or 60 and just have a ton of money when you end up, I would, again, start with a business, run that on the side. But even if you don't want to do that, right? Maybe you just want to invest in index funds or crypto or you want to flip houses maybe. That's going to be more on that side versus I'm more of a cash flow guy. This is the kind of investments that I like just because, what's the point of having all this money stored up at the end of your life? You want to use it to create cash flow. So I'd rather just go for that in the beginning, get a business making 10 grand a month, eliminate all your consumer debt, and now you make $10,000 a month with no debt. It doesn't really matter what your net worth is because on a month-to-month basis, you got enough money to do whatever you want. And that's when you can quit your job. But there's a little diagram for cash flow versus equity. So depending on your specific goals, you want to pick those types of investments.